I'm excited to bring you rate news today, and I wanted to give a little background because there's a lot of confusion about what it means when the feds meet and reduce the interest rates. Hi, I'm Charlotte Harrill. I'm your host here at Recharging with Champions, and this is your daily jumpstart. These are ideas that you can use to share and do some marketing on your own social media. And let's talk about interest rates today. Remember, I have got a static graphic that you can use in the toolkit if you want to just grab that static graph and then make the little blurb next to it that I've already got typed out in the toolkit. You're more than welcome to that. Or I've got my video that is all about the rates that you can just tag, you can duet it, you can post it on your social media, or you could make your own. So let's jump right in and let's talk about this graph. Mirrored, so I have to figure that out. Let's talk about this graph right here and how the mortgage backed securities react when they hear news of things like the interest rates should be dropping. So I want you to notice that every single day on this graph is a tick. And remember that each tick that's going up on the graph, that means that your interest rates are going down because the mortgage backed securities are doing better. If it goes down on the graph, that means that the interest rates are going up because those mortgage bonds aren't performing well, and that's when your rates go up. So if you will notice here at the very end, you're just going to see right over here, there is a lovely little plateau that we've had. And I've been celebrating every week because every week we've seen these rates slowly get better because at the last Fed meeting, they mentioned that they expected to do some rate dropping. So because they did what they said and they didn't go back on their word, our rates are staying steady. We've already seen the drop. So these last couple of weeks, I've been celebrating all of these lovely rate drops. So we've been seeing that economy mirroring what the Fed expected for this meeting. Now, here's the really good news. The really good news is not only did they do what they said they were going to do, but they talked about doing more rate reductions in the future. So, what that means to us people that try to guess what the interest rates are going to be doing over the next couple months is we expect that the economy is going to continue to soften, meaning those jobs reports aren't going to come in as strong. We're going to have maybe more temporary employment or part time employment, which just shows a softening economy. And when we have that, we're going to see those mortgage backed securities and the mortgage bonds perform better. So we should see a continual improvement. And that's the great news that came out this week is that we should not just see this plateau here, but we should probably see a little bit more movement to decreasing rates. So what does that mean to you? It means one, if you were sitting on the fence and hadn't decided if you wanted to buy yet, because maybe the rates were in the sevens, maybe even the high sixes. Well, now we have seen almost 150-point shift in the last couple weeks. On top of that, we should see a little bit more. So it's a good time to go out, get some pricing, look at what that mortgage payment would look like, and it might motivate you to do some moving that maybe you wouldn't do when the rates were a little higher. It also means that if you've been sitting on the fence or maybe you've been looking and you were qualified for this much, because those rates are lowering, you can get approved for this much now with the same monthly payment. And then in a market where affordability is so tough, this is a really nice thing just to keep your little keep that little thumb on, make sure you understand what the market is doing so you know what your price range is. Competitive market, affordability is all the issue right now. So as those rates lower, your buyers should have a little more capacity. So go out and spread the good news. Not that interest rates dropped 0.5% when the Feds met. That's not what happened in the mortgage world. We already knew that should be happening, and thank goodness they did it so we didn't have a backlash. But on the flip side of that, they also talked about future decreases, which means we should see more rate improvement over the next couple of months. So fingers crossed. I can't wait to give you more good news. We'll see you next week.